everybody! Hi, Tamar. So recently came out the new Independence Day sequel, Independence Day 2. You know, the movie with the aliens that come over and attack us and we win! Every movie that comes out tells us something about the times that it comes out. So it's interesting to dig into movies and understand something from them about the times that they were made. So here we have two basically very similar movies of the same series. And one came out in the 90s, one came out now. So we can compare them, the changes, what is
A
not.
lot have happened in the last 20 years.
A lot has happened, right? And we can learn maybe something about the 90s and about how the mainstream American view is of today. So let's start with Independence Day 1. So the first movie came in the 90s, 1996. Bill Clinton is there in the movie.
Yeah.
It's a little bit after the Americans basically won the Cold War.
Yeah, America has emerged as the sole superpower. There's no competition from a rival empire like the Soviet Union.
So it's like there was a little bit of euphoria back then.
Yeah, the end of history, like Fukuyama said.
The historian who after the Cold War.
After the Cold War in 1989, published this thesis and later a book called The End of History. Liberal democracies have won. No more, rival ideology that can, challenge this freedom and capitalism, dialectic process. Thesis, antithesis, synthesis, etc.
Right.
It's ended in terms of ideology because now there is only one, from this struggle, only one ideology has emerged.
Right, and only one valid ideology will ever be, till the end of times.
Yeah, and obviously it was wrong, and he spent his last 20 years explaining why we don't understand what he was trying to say.
Okay, and in 90 movies we can see that there are a lot of movies with alien invaders or or natural disasters.
Yeah, it's like the Hollywood adaptation to this feeling is like we no longer fight this evil, communist, fascist, whatever, but the threats are outside from aliens or from natural disasters.
And in contrast, the Independence Day 2, a lot of shit has happened since 1996.
Yeah.
9/11.
9/11.
The 2008 crash, had Iraq, war in Iraq, in Afghanistan, climate change, you had Obama,
Kim Kardashian, Justin Bieber, and internet. It was only in its cradle in the middle of the 90s. Yeah?
Right. So here in the Independence Day 2, we have a futuristic present, right? So the victory against the aliens has allowed humankind to work as one, to cooperate, and the technology has advanced really, really significantly.
Yeah, the first movie was like I don't know if the first, but like the globalization movie.
Everybody watched it. It was a super hit, global hit.
Yeah, it gave this sense that you're human against something that is outside you. But this globalization had US of A written all over it, made in USA all over it. Like the one that saved the world and got its independence were Americans.
On the American Independence Day.
Exactly. Like the Jewish American, the African American, the redneck American,
white American,
the white American, wasp American,
a little bit of a sidekick female Americans.
Yeah, now we have much more diversity in terms of the heroes of the movie.
Okay.
We have a female president, three female protagonists that played an important role,
a female
leading role,
who's a fighter jet pilot. That's okay. That's
two of them. One of the Chinese.
Right.
And like the counterpart of
the other one is Chelsea Goldblum. Is Chelsea Clinton? She's also
yeah. And
with the fighter jet.
Jeff Goldblum has like a counterpart, scientific counterpart, which is a lady as well, Charlotte Gainsbourg.
Boff. That's Coke. And also the government, the world government is basically not only the US government, but the UN government has some kind of operative it's a real government that is part of the global decision making.
Yeah.
And I think you can see that maybe this movie caters a little bit to the Chinese market because
Yeah.
there's a lot of Chinese people talking Chinese and nobody makes a big deal of them talking
yeah.
Chinese. They're just talking Chinese.
That's another thing that happened in the last 20 years, you know?
The emergence of China.
Yeah,
Right.
the emergence of China.
But you can see that the movie does not cater to African markets because the only part of society that is backwards is Africa. So everybody's like on fighter planes, like super futuristic robots, but in Africa you still have a machete and a
Warlords with
Kalashnikov and warlords.
Warlords with machetes.
I thought that part was super lame and super racist. Not super racist, subtly racist. Why not have the backward part of the world be something interesting? I don't know, Australia, Greece.
So if Independence Day 1 was like American globalism,
Right, with some countries helping a little bit.
was the Independence Day of the global state of America or something like that.
And here?
And here it's like more of a multicultural globalism. And another facet to that is that in the first Independence Day, there was this ultimate enemy of the aliens. They were just us against them.
That's easy.
That's easy. They're evil, they want to kill us.
Right.
They have no explanation. Yeah, they want to kill us. Yeah.
Kill every single one of us.
Yeah. There's no nuance, black and white.
You can't talk.
This is the enemy, you have to kill them. Now it's a little bit more complicated because the struggle is not just between us and them, but us, it's also other aliens
Working with us.
working with us, trying to help us. So now it's an intergalactic struggle,
Right.
and the us and them is very, very, very different.
It's based on finding mutual interests, on cooperating, right? Because it's not that aliens are evil, it's just these specific species of aliens are evil. So,
Some of them, I guess, are nice.
so when you think of the political climate in Independence Day 2, how can you really be a conservative? Like, can you cooperate with a being that lives like billions of light years away, that looks nothing like you can even understand, but you don't like gay people? Or you want to explore the world but build a wall to stop the Mexicans from coming over.
Yeah, and you want to go where no man has gone before with your Confederate flag.
Plant the Confederate flag.
Plant the Confederate flag there.
Get up against that wall, line up, show me your papers, you scum.
Okay, and to that, in the first movie, the left-wingers were depicted as fools. Like they were dancing on top of the building. Useful idiots. They were dancing on top of the building and saying, "Hey, the aliens are coming!
We love you.
You fucking stupid left-wingers!" But here, the neocons, they are the stupid ones because they're attacking their own allies because they're afraid maybe they want to harm us.
Yeah.
Maybe they're part of the enemy. We can see color. Everybody, the others are just lump them together. No, you have shades of alien.
Yeah.
So they are seen as the ones who are wrong.
Another tidbit that shows us how much the world and society have changed is the attitude towards gays.
Okay.
In the first movie, there was like this scene when Cuba Gooding Jr., whatever, the white guy Jr. and Will Smith, he finds like this wedding ring in his locker and he's like, "Oh, I want to marry you," and there's this some like other guy goes into the locker room and he's like, "Okay, don't ask, don't tell, I have no problem with that, don't ask, and it was like embarrassing and Will Smith is like embarrassed, what are you doing? In the new movie, we have like this, the actor of Data, that plays the scientist that got into a coma in the last movie, and he wakes up, his husband wakes him up, and no one makes a fuss about it.
Right.
It's not part of the drama, it's just
a detail.
That's progress for you.
And when he said that he peed his pants, that's fine.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
fine.
in the middle of the battle. You peed your pants? Yes, me too.
No, in 2016, guys can pee their pants and be honest about it.
Now that's progress.
That's progress, exactly. That's
I
progress.
just peed my pants.
That tells you something about like the model of masculinity that has changed in the last 20 years. Guys can talk about their feelings.
They can be hurt for a lot of time, right? Offended.
Contrast it with the previous movie, where you have this Will Smith character, tall, handsome, super fighter.
Super cocky.
After he's like, kills the alien, he's like, "Yeah, light on a cigar, yeah, I'm on top of my game, yeah." this president. He was also like part of his masculinity stuff. Was a pilot. He wasn't a very popular president because he tried to do a lot of stuff like Clinton, and the Congress, did some trouble for him, and he was going to lose the elections. But he was like this ultimate male,
And now the
he's
same guy.
broken. He's broken. He hears the voices in his head.
He's an invalid.
He's an invalid, yeah. And there's this maybe last, swan song of the baby boomers in this movie, in the Independence Day 2. They were the ones that saved us in '96 when we were 14 or 17. Now they sacrifice themselves.
Because he does, he sacrifices himself.
Yeah. The older generation, the baby boomers,
They have to die.
they have to die to give place under the sun to the millennials to take their place.
Right, this is something that is very apparent in the movie. I thought that if Independence Day 2 would have ended with the younger characters sacrificing themselves somehow for the older generation, that would have been really odd and really incompatible with the current culture.
Exactly.
So it's not a coincidence that the baby boomers sacrificed himself. I think one of the most interesting changes in the two movies is the iconic image of Independence Day 1 was the White House getting blown off, while here they made a point for the entire destruction to stop right at the White House, so the White House still stands.
Yeah.
So basically you can say that the first movie, the White House was destroyed, but the president survived, so the person was the most important thing. And in the second movie, the president died, the former president died, but the White House survived, and there's this whole thing about the line of succession.
Yeah.
A lot of them are getting killed, and I don't know, some army captain becomes president because he's the general, whatever, he's the 100th on the list. But everything still works. It still works.
Like America is about the institutions, about like America, the political institutions. They survive the individual. And maybe back then they still, I don't know, 96, we wanted like this personality, this hero president.
Right.
And now the hero president is not important.
Right.
The White House stand, there is still stability, there is still continuation.
Right.
Because it's not about the person, it's about the institution.
And it's about people cooperating with one another.
Exactly.
Okay, so if you enjoyed the video, please click like. We want to thank our patrons for this channel. We have a new Patreon page for it. You can click the link in the description.